Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
I was hoping you started with that.
And a Happy New Year.
I was hoping you started with that.
I almost did the keep the change one, but it's Christmas, so, you know.
Yeah, man, I think you did a great job.
Oh, shit. What number episode is it?
I believe that this is episode 17. I will fully confirm that here in just a second.
17.
I think it's episode
Wow.
17.
I gotta be honest, it completely slipped my mind. Anyway, episode 17, our second special Christmas episode. You know, last time we did Die Hard and Christmas Vacation. And this time we're doing the Home Alone movies, 1 and 2, not the 3 and the 4 with the other people. No one cares about those.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it kind of fell off
Okay,
after
three
Home Alone
three
2.
is three's decent. Three's decent.
Also, I
Yeah,
apologize.
I heard they're
I
okay, but we're
apologize.
not
Welcome
talking.
everybody to the Squadcast podcast, episode 18.
Oh shit. Okay, this is at 18.
Episode
Man.
18. I'm Latrell,
Yeah,
that's
we're just
Danny, and
gonna.
that's Alex. Welcome back,
Yes.
everybody.
Hi. Good. You know you did that better. Maybe you should do lead with the intros from now on.
Well, hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help out.
Okay. Well, as on our second special Christmas episode, we had to pick a couple classics. We'll obviously start with the first one, Home Alone from 1990, directed by Chris Columbus. Not that one. He was dead for hundreds of years by then. But and I also produced by John Hughes and scored by John Williams, which you can tell as there are parts where you hear a French horn.
I mean, the score
But-
for this movie is absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
Obviously, John Williams is great. The movie
Yeah,
itself is great.
So, you know, when you actually learn the names of the composers that do the music, it's really great because you start to see, you'll watch old movies like this and you'll see, oh, John Williams. And then you hear the music and you're like, yep, that's definitely John Williams.
That is a 100% John Williams. And you know what? Honestly, Dan, if you don't mind, I can give a brief synopsis for our first movie.
Okay.
All right. Well, so as my friend Dan said, this week we're going over Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. We're going to start with Home Alone 1. So a little synopsis for our people here. So we're revisiting the 1990s holiday juggernaut. And yes, I wrote notes about this, so I'm reading off my notes.
Yeah.
Holiday juggernaut that made Macaulay Culkin the biggest star on the planet, in my opinion. Please excuse me if I'm wrong.
Yes. No. I mean, yeah. It's his namesake movie. Or that's the wrong way to put it. But yeah.
No,
Keep going.
so anyway, it's a movie that's defined by Christmas. I feel like it really played a big play in a lot of '90s kids generations. Obviously released in the '90s. Kevin McAllister played Macaulay Culkin, an 8-year-old boy who was accidentally left behind on a chaotic family vacation. His family's got a lot of issues. I think they're going to Paris in this one. And at first, the movie kind of plays towards his freedom. Being a little kid, I think everybody was like, "Oh, it's so cool to be home alone." Blah blah blah. He's eating junk food, watching forbidden movies. But then all of a sudden, 2 burglars show up, and now our boy Kevin McAllister has to hold down the fort and figure it out. And he brings a multitude of different tricks, tactics, and weapons. And that's where we start out for our lovely first movie here.
And that boy grew up to be Jigsaw.
Which is crazy.
No, I thought it was funny.
Which is actually crazy.
This is one of those dumb internet theories. Because they both use booby traps.
Haha, bunch of traps.
Oh, you called it a Hollywood juggernaut, and you weren't kidding. Yeah, I looked it up like right before this pod started, just to learn a couple more things. This movie grossed $500 million at the box office. It's the highest grossing live action comedy ever. Like that, it was number 1 for 12 weeks. Like it absolutely, everybody saw this movie.
Was it really number 1 for 12 weeks?
Yeah, like it was a huge hit when it came out. I mean, and this was the '90s. There was no social media. It was, you had to do it. It was all word of mouth, and I mean, obviously, big promotion value, but still, that's insane. It's like it was that successful, and it's like it's a kids Christmas movie. I guess Christmas actually helps it out a little bit, but still, it was. I don't know. I didn't. It only was an $18 million budget. That was also shout out to the fact that it's in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, that is a big flex. That's crazy to see though, because it only got a 66% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, well, its initial. What's the audience score?
I will find out here in a second.
I bet you it's higher than 66 because I did also see that it was initially had mixed reviews, but it gradually became a Christmas classic.
Is Popcorn Meter the audience score?
So the Rotten Tomatoes audience score is right around 80%.
Okay, well, it's higher. I'm actually still surprised that's not higher.
So I mean, it comes out to be a score like a grading of an A on a scale of A+ to F.
Pretty much everyone our age grew up watching this movie. I don't know, everybody I know watched this movie.
Yeah, seriously.
And its sequel.
I think it's one of the first Christmas movies we all kind of gravitated towards in our I guess younger careers, quote unquote. Yeah. Like this, what was it? Like the Grinch movies for Christmas time, and then just like whatever animated was out at that time. But this was the reason I wanted to do these so much is because of how much the movies actually stuck with me. And how much I just genuinely loved Home Alone 1 and 2. Obviously, it falls off a little bit afterwards, but I don't know. It's the classic, it reminded me of, Three Stooges-esque type.
Well, with all comedy. The slapstick stuff in there.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good. I think they did such a good job about incorporating that, into the movie and making it a little bit more cohesive, even for a movie that was made in the 90s. 1990 to be exact. You know what I mean?
Alex, do you love Home Alone movies too?
I do, and I go all the way into even the third one. But I enjoy the second one a lot more, so I'll have a little bit more to say on the second one, just with that a little bit more range of cast there. But I think as far as the first one goes, it's more I really enjoy just all the introducing of booby traps and stuff. As a kid, it was just hilarious to watch some of those things, and when I look back on them now, I question man, you should have been watching where you put your foot. You shouldn't have stepped on a nail. You didn't realize that the door handle was bright orange. I don't know, some of these things I'm just it was hilarious, and it still is hilarious. And then I'm like, man, these guys are dumb.
I mean, yeah, they're so dumb. Yeah. They're so dumb. Honestly, I was terrified of stepping on a nail. They're
funny as hell, though.
For such a long time after this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a lot to say before that. But I let me just bring the part where he steps on that nail. You hear a sound effect of it going into his foot. That was pretty. I was like, damn, that is rough. Or that. I don't know, you hear that in horror movies sometimes that happens to somebody with that kind of sound effects. And damn, this is a kid's Christmas movie, and they're making it. Sure, you hear that going to his foot. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it.
Well, I mean,
that was crazy.
For the main character to go into Saw movies, it's kind of fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also just think it's funny with there's just so much of a focus on causing pain to.
Man, those boys fall.
Not to Harry, but to Marv. I mean, Harry does get burned and stuff, but Marv just takes all the pain, which I feel is just hilarious. Mostly on his feet too.
Did you hear what I said? I said, man, do those boys fall.
Man, do those boys fall. I mean, it's true.
Then they don't just fall. They fall on their backs.
I feel like Marv is one of the scapegoats of... not one of, he is the scapegoat.
Marv, he's the mascot of the movie.
Marv is literally the punching bag of the movie.
Yeah, sure.
What's his name? Marv Merchants?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure this is in my Home Alone 2 notes, but can I just briefly say, when I was a kid, it's around, and I watched these movies, it was around the same time Super Smash Brothers Melee was popular, and there was Marth, and there was no subtitles in movies, so I didn't see the word Marv, so I thought his name was Marth.
That's actually
Because
hilarious. He's about to hit you with a back beat.
yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's there.
Literally gonna crack you
I
out
was
right
waiting for him to
there.
pull out the long sword.
Here's the final smash ball coming in. You're about to get ultimated.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin's performance is great. I mean, it's a great. It has to be right,
Yeah.
because it's a bad child performance could make a movie pretty forgettable. But he was actually really good, and it was also like it was good in a way where like it felt pretty natural to him, and like sometimes that's a problem too with child actors is they really heavily like strictly repeat your dialogue, and it almost sounds like a screenwriter writing through the kid in a way.
Right.
No,
And
that's
it doesn't feel that way with him. It feels like an actual kid talking, but he's just a dorky, smart kid, who talks to
yeah.
himself, which anybody would if they were left home alone and they're 8 years old. So like it all makes good sense. For like a simple, fun comedy, it's actually a pretty like well made, like intelligently made movie. Like there's ways and there's ways that they handle like some of the writing situations like that, for example, like a main character being a child that
Mhm.
can often be problems in other movies, and they handle it in smart ways. um
Yeah.
I have more examples, but I can't scroll that far down. But okay, well, I could just talk about like some of the directing moves. I mean I can't get that much into it because there is like one long tracking shot when they first show the kids, which had to be really hard because they're all kids. But also like little things where there's a part when he's home alone and he yells out "Mom," and that's when they cut to her on the plane realizing she forgot him, and it's almost like the way they edited it. It's like she heard him calling her.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah,
that
I
was
thought that was cool.
I think that was very genius, and honestly,
Yeah,
I want to take a step back here because I feel like we kind of rushed through a lot of points here, but I want to go back to just the very beginning of this movie and how absolutely chaotic the movie starts. And if like you put yourself in that position, right, in anybody's position within that house. I mean, didn't Home Alone the first one start with like a cop in the house, like asking people, like, "Hey, where, like,
it
what?"
was him though. It was the bad
Yeah,
guy. It was Joe
it
Pesci.
was
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "Oh, where's your," you know what I
very
mean? Like, there's just so much going on. Like, think about actually being in that, especially right now around the holiday season when, like, everything is crazy. You know, everything's uptight. I can genuinely see, it doesn't matter how good of a parent you are. I can genuinely see a group of parents and a huge family leaving a child at home.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
they're also dicks to him.
I mean, yeah, they
I,
are
Man,
canonically just absolute
that's
dickheads.
one thing I noticed rewatching this. Fuck this family, man.
Yeah, honestly,
What the fuck?
his family is a bunch of POSs, to be
Bro, if
honest.
I was in a family filled with that many people and every single one of them was going, Daniel, you screwed up. Daniel, you suck. I would do worse things than he did.
Well, I feel like Kate really does care about her son. I think that's also part about just being a mother, Kate McAllister. But
Yeah.
also to that point, she's so, I guess, enthralled, for lack of a better term, with all of her children, and also just so taken up by it, where one little misstep was like, oh shit, we left Kevin at home. But to your point, how much do you not care about this kid to not remember that he's not
That's
with you? Like, come
why you
on.
can't have that many kids in a house, man. How could you possibly care enough about every single one?
I don't know. And you know what? Honestly, shout out to all the parents
Still
out
have time for
there
yourself.
who listen to our podcast. But if you got more than like three kids, go ahead and drop a comment. Like, which one's your favorite? Because we know you got one.
I'm the, I'm I'm the fourth child.
And you know what? I'll talk to you about you being the fourth child off camera.
Yeah, go ask my parents.
I already know how Pops feels. I almost dropped his government name on our podcast, but I did.
I'm just saying. But yeah, I even put in my notes at one point, this is a traumatized child before he even gets left alone.
Literally traumatized. This might as well be Harry Potter in like one of the first two movies where he's living under the stairs.
My girlfriend watched this movie around the same time I was watching it. She just wanted to watch the movie I was watching for the pod. But she felt that it was kind of funny that the dad didn't really care as much about forgetting Kevin as mom did.
The dad is a POS through and through, and I'm surprised that they didn't make it a point that the dad gets divorced with Kate like in movie 3 or 4. You know what I mean? Like at
He's a
that
little
point,
better.
I mean,
He's
he
a
was
little
basically
better
trying
in
to.
2.
He was literally trying in the first one. He was literally trying to like shove it off, like, "Oh, he'll be fine. Just leave the kid alone for X amount of days. We'll be back in no time."
well,
Like,
you
that's
know what?
kind of what I was getting from it.
That's just a very well off, high tax bracket, wealthy family mentality. I mean, if you
Yeah,
can
I guess.
afford to have more than two
You're not
kids,
used to have to worry about anything.
That's right.
like if you can afford to have more than two kids and still have a house that size and go on vacation, I don't think you're really worried about it. His only concerns are probably just like, where's my money? Leave me alone. I'm going on vacation. He don't give a fuck about those kids. He care about his money.
He probably could. They probably could have just sent somebody to the house, honestly, and just
Right?
avoided all of it.
You mean to tell me
Like,
this family doesn't have a nanny or a or somebody, a maid, anybody to go to the house? They didn't give a fuck about Kevin. And you know what? Kevin held it down. He's the real one. If I was Kevin, I would have left the house after that. I would have been like, you know what? Fuck y'all. I'm gone.
I was I was talking when I was bringing up how it was intelligently made. So one of the examples, like when he checks the cars and he's like, "Oh, they couldn't have left because the cars are still here." I thought that was a really smart way of showing, like, oh, that's something a kid would an 8-year-old would think, but you don't typically drive to the airport. You have someone drive you, or you get driven, and that's what like they did. They took those vans.
yeah,
But I just thought that was like, oh, that's pretty, like, that's kind of smart because like it makes sense that he would think that, but you as the viewer would know that that's not what happened,
Well,
and
you know
like
what?
that wouldn't happen.
I think there's a duality there because we have to think about the time frame in which this movie is like presented and like the people around the era of the 90s. Like if you were to remake this movie right now, 2025, and you did the exact same thing, I think the script change would be he wouldn't be surprised there are cars there because everything is Uber and Lyft and rideshare and this and that. It would have been very just like, oh fuck, they left me here, they got in the Uber. But back then,
Man,
it was like, oh shit, all the cars are here. There's definitely somebody here. And even for us, growing, being 90s kids,
yeah, maybe I'm just stuck in that time because I wasn't even thinking about Ubers and
you know what I
Lyfts.
mean? I mean, honestly, you made me think about this right now. It's one of those things where it's like, we grew up in that era, all three of us, where it was like, if I went to my friend's house, unsolicited, like I didn't
Taxi to an
call,
airport.
and there was a car out front of the house, I automatically assumed that somebody was home. But if there was nothing in the
Yeah.
driveway, you automatically assume there's nobody there. But nowadays, even go back, what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, a car in the house means nothing to me anymore because everybody has Uber and Lyft and you can call taxi services, you can get on like all this, you know what I mean? But back in the 90s, it was very abnormal to have cars in your house and nobody home.
yeah.
And they also just have little things to show about him. Well, you kind of touched on how it starts as him, like, you know, he's really happy that everyone's gone and he's being to do whatever he wants. And then eventually he like misses them, right? But there's also even little things like him being scared of the evil furnace in the basement.
Right. I mean,
Like
there's a
something
lot of duality.
which which that's
Sorry.
great for a kids movie because even as a kid, I think I thought in the movie like that was like a real thing happening. Like, oh shit, you better stay away from the evil furnace.
Right? I mean, I would agree wholeheartedly, but like
Well,
looking
I
back
don't. I
at
don't
it,
think.
sorry, go ahead, Alex.
I just don't think us as kids would have noticed the like. Oh, that's what a furnace in that big of a house would look
Right,
like.
because we were little kids too, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Right.
think about that. Watching the movie again, in the last 2 weeks as an adult, I realize
Yeah.
how many things are different from then to now, even for myself. When I was little, I used to be terrified of like running upstairs from my basement with all the lights off. Like something was gonna grab me.
Yeah, so did I.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, something was chasing me up the
Exactly.
stairs.
Something was always. But on the flip side of the coin, anytime like when I got to that certain age where it was like, hey, we're gonna leave the house. You're not coming with us. Like, don't let anybody in. If anybody knocks, don't go to the door. But the excitement of being like, oh shit, I'm home alone. I can raid the fridge. I can do whatever I want. You know what I mean? I could blah blah blah. Like that's
Porn time.
oh my god. Hey,
I'm
we're gonna get
kidding. I'm
demonetized for
kidding.
this. No, I'm kidding. But
I'm
like,
kidding. But yeah.
he might be kidding. We don't know. But it was one of those things where it was like it was super exciting. But then to the other point, you know, and maybe not for everybody. For me, there was definitely times where I was like, oh shit, like I miss my family. Or even going as far as like when I first went to college, like the first month of college was great. Second month, I was like, damn, I kind of want to go home. You know what I mean? So it's just like that kind of
Yes.
duality, and I see it more now than I did then. Obviously, because I was what when I first saw this movie, I was probably like 7.
Alex, you said you like the second one better.
I do.
I like I do like this first one better. Maybe part of that's because it's just the one that was the original. It came up with the ideas originally.
Well, hey! Don't get ahead of yourself. We haven't even
No.
rated the movie yet.
I'm not talking about it yet. I'm not talking about 2 yet. But I was gonna say the other thing this movie that has that the other one doesn't is John Candy, who I love and adore, and I'm sad died as early as he did, because every movie he's ever in, he's just a big bundle of joy.
That's fine. John Candy is good.
And even in this movie, he's such like a nice guy who wants to help her out and give her the ride home with the polka guys.
I was gonna say, wasn't John Candy like the leader of the polka band or something?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't. Yeah. That was, and he's. Next maybe it's a little late now, or we could still do it, but we should do planes, trains, and automobiles just because of John Candy.
How about we just do a John Candy Day where we do planes, trains, and
Yeah.
automobiles, and then Cool Runnings?
Yeah, he's got more than just those two too.
Yeah, but Cool Runnings is goated. Anyway,
Yeah, I just had to get a shout out and an RIP John Candy, because I was reminded that he was in this when I saw him when he comes in the movie, and it always makes me happy.
yeah, and he died early too. He was only 43.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
That's what is very sad.
Yeah, he died in
He
Mexico,
would've-
though, so he's probably having a good time.
Durango, Mexico.
He died
Sure.
in Durango, Mexico at night at 43 years old.
All right, we should probably get into the main appeal of this movie, which is the booby traps and the bandits
Yes.
being affected by them. Obviously, Joe Pesci is great. I don't know the name of the actor that plays Marv, but he does a great job too, with especially what he's supposed to do, which is just make loud reactions to actual painful things happening to him.
So it's Daniel Stern for Marv, and it's
Okay, all right.
his best reaction, I feel like, is the glass ornaments under his feet. That was probably my favorite one of all time. Still is today, even though I know now that it's like sugar glass.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That I think I put in my notes, literally right off the bat, they slip off the stairs. Like, do they slip like 3 times?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I forgot what his first booby trap is at the door. Something that hits Marvin the balls.
It's a paint can, isn't it?
Is it? Okay. But I put in my notes, after a shot to the balls and 2 slips off the stairs, I just call it quits. That's it.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, you think about it, all the traps are like Rube Goldberg devices, which I think is awesome in
Right.
itself. But I had to look it up because I forgot. So the first trap is the freezing water on the steps. Then it's the hot doorknob, which
That's right.
Marv.
It burned his hand.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then they get into the house, and then it's the BB gun, and then the toy cars and pearls.
Oh, the BB gun through the door.
Yeah,
I
he
forgot.
fires
That's
it
how
into their
he
face
gets them.
and like in their balls.
Yeah, he hits him in the balls. That's hilarious.
Which is hilarious. And then think about the ingenuity to put toy cars down on the ground as opposed to like the classic like marbles or like bouncy balls or something to make people
Yeah.
slip and fall. How smart is that?
Yeah, no, he's just a little smart little fucker.
Exactly.
He's fucking with them the whole last half hour of the movie. It's pretty great.
Literally fucking with them, but this I think that also plays on to just like the creativity of a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It gets a little bit fortuitous that Marv takes off his shoes in order for a couple of those to work, like the nail on the stair. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
that could have went through his shoe too, but it helps a lot that his fused barefoot, and and I guess for the ornaments too.
Yeah, well, I mean, Marv is
But
also an idiot
nevertheless,
because if you're breaking into somebody's house to rob them, why are you taking off your shoes?
oh well, it's the same guy that leaves the sink on for no reason.
I mean, yeah, you are definitely not wrong there. I'll tell you what.
The cops catch him and like, yeah, thanks for doing that, guys. We know every place you've hit now. It's pretty. It was goofy, and I don't know. It was goofy enough to make me laugh. So, and he's so we're the wet bandits. Come on. What the fuck is, yeah. I also had in my notes that like I almost wonder if they either they probably didn't because it would cost money, but I wonder if they almost thought to do some alternate cuts where they let Joe Pesci say what he wants, because we know if you've ever seen Goodfellas, Joe Pesci can be a lot more not kid appropriate than that.
Yeah,
with especially all the times he calls Marv an idiot or just gets mad at something that happens to him. Like you just know he wants to drop 20 F-bombs. But he does a good job. He does a good job, though. He does a great job.
This could have easily been a pretty hilarious adult comedy too.
Yes. Well, yeah, it would be a lot of him.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of him, but you could technically make a remake of this movie in a more adult fashion. I think it'd still hit this year.
Yeah, but they would want it. People would want it as a kids movie again.
Yeah, agreed.
And plus, I only mean that because it's Joe Pesci. It wouldn't. I don't know if it would work with somebody else.
Right? Yeah, you would need like a Joe Pesci. I mean, that's a good question though. Who would you cast?
He's the most famous vulgar guy ever. He just couldn't be in this movie because it was a kids' Christmas movie.
If this
but he still
movie
did
was
a good job regardless.
Right now, who would you cast as the villains instead of Daniel? What is it? Daniel Stern and French Stewart? Are the originals?
No, one of them's Joe Pesci. I don't remember the other guy.
Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern.
Yes.
Daniel Stern. Where'd you get French Stewart?
Wait, oh, sorry, French Stewart's from Home Alone 4. Goodness gracious.
Okay, I was like, what the?
Yeah, Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern.
Oh man, Joe Pesci.
Anyway,
Goodfellas, add it to the list.
Add to the list. Who would you cast now for the villains?
I don't know, man. I don't know who could who could fill in those shoes.
For me, I think Marv, the idiot, I would cast Theo Von.
Okay. I don't know if yeah.
I don't know.
What about the other guy?
Yeah, see, that's the one where I struggle a bit. You need somebody who's a little bit more, I guess, rough around the edges, but also can kind of be like the duality. Who's the
one of the guys from Always Sunny? I don't know.
No, who's the what is it?
Oh.
The what is it? Hateful Seven? It's not Hateful Seven. The
Hateful Eight?
Hateful Eight, yeah. Who's the old white dude with the beard? I can't remember his name.
Kurt Russell?
Yeah, I do Kurt Russell.
Okay.
That would be my two. Or Theo Von and Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Well, Will Ferrell's good. We're Will Ferrell fans in here.
Yeah, we are.
Check out a couple episodes ago, Anchorman. That's Robert Burgundy on the Squadcast movie podcast.
Oh yeah, go back to episode 16, Squadcast podcast movie podcast. Yeah.
It was I don't know. There was something a little dumb at the end, I guess, in that when he had to run away, he sort of he like for a second was running in their direction to run around the house. I was like, why'd he do that? I just gave them time. And I mean, that wasn't why they caught him, but that was the scene where they caught him too.
Right. It's like he just gives them more time to do that. But
we didn't before we wrap it up. We didn't even talk about the old man that he has the nice conversation with. I thought that was a really nice scene
I
when
did
he
think that
talks
was a
to him in
really
the
nice
church.
scene, but being a fan of the series, I didn't really include it in my notes because of what happens in 2.
What, you thought it was better?
I think
I
the
would.
connection in 2 is better than in 1.
I
Yeah,
agree.
you know what? Yeah, I like them both, but I agree with that a little bit. Well, I guess I like the lady a little better too. But
Yeah, but we'll
I
get
mean, we'll
into
get to
that.
that.
But old man
I,
Marley is great. It starts out weird.
yeah.
He's the emotional anchor. We'll say it like that.
At least he has a little bit. He's a little bit more I mean, I guess fake fleshed out because they give him that weird, creepy backstory. Whereas the other lady, she just looks creepy.
That's true. That's true. But hold that thought
Yeah.
on that lady. Are we ready to go to ratings?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
No. No. Go
I'll
ahead. Go
start.
ahead, Let's go. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
of course. For Home Alone, the original 1990, I give this a 5. Squadcast podcast thumbs up out of 5.
No
Dan,
drama for me. 5 out of 5.
cool. Alex,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Five,
I say the
five out
same.
of five.
cool. That's a
All
outstanding
right.
5 out of 5 for
Yeah.
Home Alone 1.
It's a timeless classic and didn't win any awards or anything. Although it did pretty well at the box office, but it was very well made and it gradually got appreciated for that. And that's what happens when you make well movies, even if they don't initially get well received, they stand the test of time. And this one did that. It helps that it's a Christmas movie, but I don't even think that matters.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
really
great
don't
movie.
think that. I think you can watch this movie any time of any year. This is a movie I'd be proud to show my children if and when I ever have them.
Oh, I will. Yeah, that'll happen. We'll be showing our kids for sure. This and the second one, and getting into that, Home Alone 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
I
got another
almost
one for
forgot
it.
these are your recommendations.
Yeah, I
So
got another
yeah,
one.
go ahead.
So Home Alone 2. When was this one's 1992, Lost in New York.
First one
So
was 1990.
yeah, this one's
Yeah.
1992, so it's 2 years after. I think a lot of people call this one like a requel. So it's like the sequel, but it's like the same thing. So it's like they're redoing it but differently, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this takes place 2 years after Kevin defends his home out in the Shy City. So he's back. However, this time in Home Alone 2, obviously as the title says, they're lost in New York. However, the funny part about it is that the mix-up actually happens at O'Hare Airport, which I had to look up, which is really cool because I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I thought it was in New York
Mm.
originally,
Oh
but
yeah, I recognized it when I saw them running through
for
there.
whatever reason, it didn't click right away. I had my connections, but well, anyway, I looked it up. So yeah,
Yeah.
so mix-up happens at O'Hare. The family's going to Florida. I think it's raining in Florida at the time, so everybody's kind of in a bad mood. And then
Let me bring that up later.
somehow
Right.
Kevin ends up on a different journey, and he lands in New York. But this time, he has his father's credit card. And so, throughout the movie, it's a requel, but he checks into a hotel. He's doing things that are a little bit more out of the norm, and also just kind of expanding his wings a little bit. But we have the same what is it, protagonist back, the same villains back. However, the story goes a little bit deeper, in my opinion, for this one, and you get a little bit more insight into Kevin McAllister as a character, a little bit more character development for him, as well as just kind of a deeper backstory. But I also think that the devices that are used in Home Alone 2 are a little bit more advanced, obviously 2 years later, than Home Alone 1. But yeah, so I think that's a pretty good synopsis for the second movie. Dan, did I miss anything?
Alex, no, you didn't, and I want Alex to go before I do.
Say that again.
Right.
What was the question?
So, what are your thoughts? What are your initial thoughts on Home Alone 2?
Oh, okay.
I guess what are your initial thoughts and one of your favorite moments to start? I think that's a good starting point.
Uh, well, this is my like. I probably would have given Home Alone 1 like a 4.5, but it's just too nostalgic to not give a 5. But
Yeah,
this one gets a 5 right out the bat for me.
I respect
And
that.
it's just because I love it's a much deeper cast that I really enjoy. Like you have
Mm-hmm.
Rob Schneider, Brenda Fricker, Eddie
Tim Curry,
Bracken, and Tim Curry. Like,
Donald Trump.
Tim Curry, really great depth there. Eddie Bracken, like if you know your 1940s movies, you got some really great depth there with the Miracle.
Which one does he play?
Eddie Bracken is the
Is he the toy
owner.
guy?
Yeah, the store owner.
Mr. Duncan?
Yeah, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah, I knew that had to be somebody kind of famous.
Yeah, there's two 1944 movies that he's really, really well known for. That's in the National Film Registry, both Hail the Conquering Hero and The Miracle of Morgan's Creek. I feel like Hail the Conquering Hero might be more up our alley. It's like a comedy war, but
hey, add it to the list.
Oh, he was in Rookie of the Year.
That one would be a great
the
one.
'93 Rookie of the Year. He was in that too. Eddie Bracken.
Cool.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's a cute little one about the Cubs. It's a children's Cubs movie.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah,
add that to the list.
Add that to the list. We can do a baseball theme. But anyway, Alex, apologies. Continue.
Yes, I like that.
No, I said like the depth alone and the characters are really great. I think the relationship, like you said earlier, the relationship with Brenda Fricker's character, the pigeon lady, is so much more detailed, and like you actually get like a satisfaction from seeing their relationship kind of grow and having like a really nice end in Central Park and stuff like that, you know. The second off is like you have like two kind of like storylines going here at the same time. Well, kind of three if you throw in the parents, but like your one storyline is like dealing with all like the hotel staff and stuff like that, getting like tricking them into thinking that he's like with his family and everything. Or with his dad.
Yeah, I mean, he mimics his voice from a movie. That's genius.
Yeah, it's like, hello.
Also, I apologize. I apologize.
That recorder is huge.
Alex, give me 2 seconds. I didn't realize as well that Eddie Bracken is Charlie from The Brave Little Toaster. Did you guys ever watch The Brave Little Toaster?
Yes,
add it to the list.
Opening up a deep sanctum of my memory with the brave little fucking
that
toaster.
That movie
man.
is generational. Anyway, I apologize, but I needed to share that because it's added to the list, and that movie's fucking incredible.
No, that's the thing. Like Eddie Bracken's depth, like is like just the character depth is insane. But like, and then your second storyline is coming back with Marv and Harry. In is it the aunt's and uncle's house in New York or something like that?
Yeah.
So like that second storyline is just funny to watch as well, because it's like it's truly like, I think here's the thing with the first one, he knew what was in the house, he knew like what he had and how to set up traps, whereas like he literally had like a night to like figure out how to take this deconstructed, gutted house and build traps from the select few things that are actually there. And I feel like that's just it gives Evan much more depth into like his like creativity than like all the stuff that you would generally have in a home, and you know what you have on hand. You know,
he also almost committed murder. He threw a hot iron into Marv's face. Marv got third-degree burns.
At him from like 3 stories above.
I mean,
brick to the head, a 100-pound bag from 2 stories up on his face.
The first thing he gets hit with is a paint can to the face. Automatically, that literally fractures your face. Then he gets an iron, 3rd-degree burns, and then before anything else, before the bricks, he gets a fucking blowtorch to his scalp. Marv should be in the ICU on a fucking like breathing tube in a coma.
He gets electrocuted.
A little bit more of a beatdown in this one. Yeah, that electrocution.
Yeah, they should be dead.
I literally looked up every injury that would happen from all of the traps. Paint can to the face, orbital fracture, iron, 3rd-degree burns, permanent disfiguration, blowtorch, necrosis of the skull, brick, brain damage, electrocution, heart failure, and then falling 3 stories on the cement is death or paralysis. Marv is dead. He's dead.
But yeah, that's I know I went a little deep there, but that's like
No, that's cool.
that's just my love for this movie goes a lot deeper than the first one.
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you
Oh,
on that. Actually, no, Danny, you go. I apologize. I'll go last.
not for well. I don't know. It's weird. So I did on these rewatches. I enjoyed the first one more, but I do also remember, like from my childhood, I kind of remember this one better. I don't know why. I just do. I guess I just watched it more often. I feel like at some point I watched the first one, like, oh yeah, there's a first one.
I think the
And
opening scene for the second one is way more memorable for me.
yeah, yeah. I Yeah, you called it a requel at the beginning with Trial,
Yeah,
and it is
it's the
a little bit.
requel.
It is a little bit of that. It is a little bit. It does hit a lot of the same story beats, and it is true that I typically don't love that in a sequel. That's actually, that's kind of why that's often a big reason why people don't place like the sequels to movies up with their predecessors, right? Because like when they make that sequel, they're a little more hyper aware of what they did right in the first movie, and so they kind of put that back on a pedestal, and sometimes they'll even make it bigger. Now, that is true for this movie. However, it felt a little bit different than how others than it falls into some of the same traps those sequels do, but it I don't know, something about it feels less like they're just like trying to put out a cheap buck and more like we had more here, so we want to mold into another story here.
Yeah.
So like especially in like that, that kind of works in terms of like when they basically give him another relationship with a stranger who seems creepy but is actually nice, and I guess even just the overall plot of him getting lost and somehow winding up with the bandits again. But um, it's and also I guess on top of the fact that they kind of have to contrive it a little bit more in order for to get him lost again. I pointed out in my notes first, like there's the recorder batteries and then him putting on headphones when they say the plane's headed to New York. He collides with the ticket lady. He thinks that the guy on the plane is his dad. The guy next to him is speaking French. Like I'm like, man, he's just every twist and turn, every turn where he could find out he's on the gets shut down. I thought that was a little it was a little silly, I guess. But as I said, and you actually brought it up, Alex, when you were talking about this just now, they do go a little deeper, and they do expand the story a bit. They have like that whole fiasco at the hotel, which I don't know why. I don't know what the hell Tim Curry's character's problem is, but he's a gem, so you gotta appreciate it anyway.
Oh, Mr. Hector?
I mean, his character's very annoying.
Yeah,
but
Mr. Hector.
He's
the
great.
concierge.
He's great.
He has the MVP performance in this film.
And this movie, while it hits some of the same beats of storytelling, it also continues doing a lot of the awesome technique. I mean, Chris Columbus does a good job directing these movies. When just one edit I can think of in particular is the Grinch face editing into Tim Curry smiling, which whoever came up with that must have just felt like an absolute genius. Like, oh my God, he literally looks like the Grinch. We got to do this, guys.
I mean, I think I think that person is a genius, to be honest.
Yeah.
And oh, I'm sorry. You continue, sir.
No. Well, the only other thing I was going to say is connect with both of these movies as a child who got lost a lot in stores and stuff. I don't know.
I used to. So I guess playing off of you, Danny. First, I want to touch on that. I used to be the kid in stores, like when we would go to like I don't know what was back like J.C. Penney's, Macy's, Carson's. I would purposely go and hide inside of the like those big circular clothes racks that are like out on the floor.
Yeah.
I would go and hide underneath those, and like my mom and my grandma, they would have no idea where I was at. I would be like scaring random fucking people. So I was kind of a dick, but you know. I do get
Hmm.
that, but anyway, going into the movie, and I guess I'll cap us out since it was my second movie. First and foremost, I like this movie so much more to connect to both of you because I think the storyline is better. And going back to what Alex says, I think that they do a really good job of telling a couple different storylines. And one that I don't think you guys touched on was Duncan's toy chest. You know,
Yeah, that was really nice.
yeah. So like that
And they
Dunk
connect that with the turtle doves.
exactly with
Yeah.
the turtle. So Duncan's toy chest gives me really big like what was it, Diagon Alley vibes from Harry Potter.
Yeah. It's funny. I kind of thought of that too.
Right? It gives me very big,
Yeah.
like whimsical, mystical. It's Christmas time. He's Kevin's a kid with his
Yes.
dad's credit card. He has unlimited money. He's going in here and he's just splurging. There's no thought in the world. So I thought that was a very cool, interesting part. And I think I can remember, was the guy's name Duncan? The owner of Duncan's Toy Chest? Was his name Duncan? Or the guy who was there or whatever?
I don't, man.
I don't know,
Alex
but
said it, not me.
whatever his
Technically.
name was, I liked his character. I liked the way that he kind of helped develop Kevin throughout the story. It gave him a little
Yeah.
bit of that, like he gave him the family feel. He gave him the father feel, and then I connect that to the pigeon lady because the pigeon lady gave him the mother feel where
Mhm.
both of his parents were missing. And I think there's a really big part where the pigeon lady gives like the what is it, like the attic speech or whatever. But there's one part of it I had to look it
Hmm.
up. She goes, I'm skipping a little bit, but she goes, you must do what you must do now is you must think of the most important thing that you can do for others and go and do it. Just follow the star in your heart. That shit is really
Hmm.
powerful just in general life and to the movie because I think that's a really big turning point for Kevin as a character in the movie right after he's done violating these two adults aggressively, like committing atrocities to them. You know what I mean? So I thought that
Yes.
was a very good point, and I think they did a kind of a better job of like showing that the parents were a little bit concerned when they really weren't. Fuck his parents, whatever. But
Yeah.
I think that all in all, I think the movie really was a lot more cohesive in the themes it wanted to portray as opposed to the first movie. And then just one little funny point, because I was talking to somebody about this movie recently. Do you guys know that Trump literally like he was like the only way I'm gonna be a part of this film is if I think he said like he needs to get paid and he needs to have like a certain amount of seconds as a cameo.
He's only in it for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know, but that was like part of his stipulation. He's like, you have,
When he negotiated 2 seconds?
yeah, because I'm pretty sure the hotel that they used was his hotel.
Oh, they used the Trump Hotel.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so they
He
said
said it was the
so.
Plaza Hotel.
Yeah, they called it the Plaza Hotel, but he's like, my caveat for you using my hotel is I have to have a cameo in the movie, and they put him in there for two
Okay.
seconds.
Fair.
Yeah, man, they must have. I mean, I know he's always kind of been known as an asshole. They must have really hated it because it was the most throwaway cameo. I mean, it works as a joke, like that the kid doesn't know who he is, but like I
Mhm.
almost feel like it's a joke at him too. Like, oh, you think you're so famous? This
Right? And this is '92.
kid doesn't even know who you are.
When did The Apprentice come out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see.
I never watched The
Uh,
Apprentice. Never cared to.
The
I'm kind
Apprentice.
of happy for that. But well, while you're looking that up,
$2,004.
I want
2004.
to,
That's crazy.
I wanted to give another shout out to the movie for how they portray Florida because that is hilarious. Like that's so good to like in my opinion because I've been to Florida a lot of times and it does rain a lot. Like that's Florida.
Yeah.
But like when you picture Florida in your head, you think the tropics and palm trees and all a nice day outside. But when you get there, it's usually pretty much every other time I've landed in port in Florida, it was raining when there.
Yeah, it's honestly
Like it
very true.
rains.
I think I've been to Florida a
So
handful
I
of
thought that
times.
was funny. I thought they kind of made it even funnier by having "It's a Wonderful Life" in Spanish
I would agree. They did
at the
that.
hotel.
That
That was
actually
pretty good.
was funny. I think my last point about it is again the cleverness of Kevin in this movie. I think they really doubled down on it. I think one
Yeah.
of one of my favorite scenes is I can't remember exactly how it goes down, but it's the scene where he uses the TV to imitate his dad on the phone for room service or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, those are so fun.
They're
Oh, that's the
so
best.
funny. And then who was
That's the best.
the concierge? Our Tim Curry.
Yeah.
His face during the one call where he's like, "You
Yeah.
the filth," and he's like, "Oh, dude, it's fucking it's perfect. It's perfect."
Well,
But
yeah. I mean, they clearly told Tim Curry, just go to town with all your facial expressions. We love that shit.
they said, "Do whatever you want to do. We're not going to stop you."
Yeah, it was a smart idea because people love Tim Curry.
But yeah, no, I think it was a great movie. I am ready for my ratings if you guys
Yeah.
Yeah.
are. All right, I'm gonna go in reverse order. Danny, we're gonna start with you.
I was originally gonna give this a 4.5 instead of a 5, and I thought, that'll be nice because it is a requel, and that does bother me. But I'm not gonna push it like I do other requels, where I would probably give it way less. But you guys kind of changed my mind a little bit. You talked about how he does get more character development, and there is a little bit more like the hotel scene and stuff. So it's not entirely a requel, and even the parts of it that make it are more justified other requels that I could think of off the top of my head. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it a 5. This one's a 5, just like the other one.
Oh yeah,
Alex,
Fiverr.
fiver. All
Yeah,
right.
I've no drama with
Well,
Alex. The
yeah, I'm
man
gonna
was
go
already
ahead and
saying
give
he
this
loved it.
a 5 Squadcast podcast thumbs up out of 5, which gives us a perfect 5-5
And
for today's movies.
we'll probably we probably have garnered a reputation of being really nice on movies, but honestly, I like the episodes where we give both the movies 5s.
I mean, I do too, but honestly, I would beg to differ because the first like 4 or 5 episodes we have, I gotta find my notebook somewhere around here. We gave movies like 2.5s, 3.5s, 3. There's one podcast where both movies I think didn't get higher than a 3.5.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. But I also get shit on sometimes when I give a movie a 4.5. So I don't know.
I mean, it's bound to happen.
Yes.
It happens here and there. It is what it is. But at the end of the day,
At the end of the day,
it's our
at the end of the
podcast.
day, we did another one, boys.
Hey, we
We
did
did
another one. Episode
it.
goddamn 18. Next episode
18.
will
We're
be
18.
19, and then we hit a milestone
Next
at
episode
20.
will be a special end of year episode, kind of.
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
what I'm
Honestly, we
looking
have a good
for.
amount. 18 episodes. We can
Yeah, we'll do a little small rehash and
or here's an
talk about a couple
idea.
other things.
Here's an idea for the group and the people. What if the next podcast we just do a normal like New Year's like kind of world ending podcast Y2K type shit, and then episode 20 we review the first 19 movies we ever reviewed, and it's like the 20th episode spectacular because 20 episodes is a milestone.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll probably do that. All right, well, anything else, anyone? Or should we do the
I
outro?
I don't think so. We did it.
Okay, hey, we did it. Yeah, we needed another chance. Yeah,
I
well,
redeemed
it's
us.
okay. Good job. Good job. Okay. Well, yes, this is our last episode of the year, so we'll see you next year, everybody.
That's
And
crazy. Yeah, we'll see you guys next year.
yes, thank you for
Peace out.
listening. Have a good night.
Peace.